Welcome to Lighten Up Talk Radio with Michael and Lee. Join us with topics that wake up the connection to your soul. You can listen to us at lightenuptalkradio.com. Hello, all you beautiful peeps out there. It's Sunday, July 15th, and welcome to another episode of Lighten Up Talk Radio. Here with Michael and Lee. How you doing today, Lee?
I'm doing great, Michael. I am very happy to be here sitting at this desk right now.
And so am I. This week, and you and I were talking right before we kicked off the show, and I think today we're really going to get into our weeks. I had quite an amazing week of transformation, and even one that continued on. I think in our last show we talked a lot about keeping positive thoughts going, and this week was so important for me to do that. I really had to pay attention to my thoughts and had a lot of stories which I like to share, about that. And before we got on the air today, Archangel Jophiel just stepped right into the energy here with us. And the message about beauty, I heard this, honoring your own beauty. And this message came in. So I'd like to ask all you out there, have you taken a moment lately to find something or honor something about your own inner beauty, outer beauty, all of it? I think that's really important right now to find something to honor. My week has been all about finding something to be grateful for in little things and big things and all kinds of stuff out there. I had a situation, have family in town, and family that I don't get to see very often, and it's been a real interesting and important time for me to get to the core of some patterns in my life. Just put it out there, because it's really all it is, just patterns. Sometimes in families, we do the same thing over and over again for many years, because it's just been how it's been, And so this time with my family in particular, really had to get to the core of some irritations in my life in particular. And just to give a short overview of what happens, I have a family member that it just seems every time that I've been around them lately, I just feel overwhelmed with messages coming through me for the person, and a lot of the messages have been pretty similar, over time, and I've built up this irritation within me when it happens, that instead of being light and sharing them with a light-hearted or even asking if they would like to receive them, that there's this burden and pressure that comes along with it. And I really had to confront that this week, because at one time I really was not coming from the place of love, which is, I personally, my intention would be to always come from that place of love. I don't want to slip into that, place of really leaning towards the anger mode. It was rather intense. And so I had a rather dark night of the soul in the middle of the week about this, because I felt really guilty about it, the way that I had acted, and I confronted it with her, that I really wanted to get to the core of whatever it is, and that we could talk it out, and if it didn't make sense, what the messages were that were so powerfully coming through me, that I had to share them on some level, and whatever was done with them was fine, but I just have to share them. And so anyway, I went to bed kind of with the prayer and intention to help me release this burden that I've been carrying and give it over to the divine. It's not something that I want to carry. It was not comfortable. And not to mention, I don't know about you all out there, but I've been going through a lot of solar plexus, kind of in your, stomach area, a lot of energy shifts. Sometimes it's not pleasant.
Yeah.
But this really amplified some energy shifting in my solar plexus area. It really sent me into quite a period of intense inner going inside and looking at what was going on. So I went to bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I couldn't seem to shake or let go of the physical feelings in my body, which normally seems to be easier to let go when I put that intention and just kind of sit. And when I was laying in bed, I had this experience where my father's on the other side came down and just touched me as I'd been asking and praying for help to work through this. And it just immediately, the energy shifted, like feeling his presence and acknowledgement that I was okay. I felt it from being blessed. And I immediately fell asleep on that. It just was like, boom. And then when I woke up in the morning, it all started coming, the answers, boom, 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 really clear. And the most important one for me is to be grateful for my gifts that I have, to not take them for granted or even ever think of them as a burden, because I had taken them on as a burden. Like the divine messages coming through me, I had felt so burdened about them for whatever the situation is. There's no need to go into all the situation of it. But in the moment that I decided and I started on this total affirmation within myself, feeling totally grateful for everything that I was given by the divine, that I came in here with all of these intuitive gifts and all of these things, and that my intention have always been to want to serve with them with love, and that in gratitude of them, I just let go of that burden on the spot. Then I went out after that feeling immediately lighter, and I went out on a walk with my dog, and I was confronted with this. Never has happened to me before. Every person on the walkway either said some kind of gracious appreciation about the dog or something in a very understanding way about what was going on, but I got 3 people that said I had the most beautiful dog ever. And one person, when I crossed the street, they even slammed on their brakes. And rolled the window down and had to say that. And it was such a powerful lesson for me, and confirmation of the importance of showing gratitude, showing it not only for others but for yourself too, because it was where I was working with myself at that point, and then moving that appreciation into my family member too, finding things about her, because some of the messages that were coming through were pretty intense about the importance of the changes that were going on in her life, but also finding pieces of appreciation to tie it in with. So that has been a huge, powerful twist within my week. And I, even this morning, when I went to work out at the gym, I was confronted with the inverse of what just happened. It was just like the universe was showing me, okay, now you're going to see it this way. And so you can get it for the full circle experience this morning. And so I saw an acquaintance at the gym, and they immediately, we just had to struck up a little conversation and, finding out where are you now and that sort of thing. And so when he told me where he was, I said, oh, cool, that's great. You have a place to work or whatever. And he goes, well, it just went totally negative. And I said, well, at least you have a place, that's bringing in to supply and meet your needs. And he stopped in that moment and said, you got me. And I noticed that he sat there for a really long time after that, just kind of sitting with that for a little bit. But it was a reminder how easy it is to switch it, finding the appreciation in whatever it is. So I'm putting that out there as it's been my week, and I'm going to continue doing this because it's really helping me right now to find something to be grateful for in whatever thing in your life you're looking at it from a negative perspective, and you may not even be aware of it. Because I was not aware of it in a couple of these scenarios. Never even really dawned on me how I was even going down the negative path with something. And then in the switch of it, it just completely switched everything. And the divine gave me all these experiences and confirmations to see it. So that's been a start to my week. How about you, Lee?
Well, let me finish up my little saying about what you just said.
Okay.
I think as well, because I do know this person as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have met her several times. And I think that what happened is you released her too.
Mm-hmm.
It always goes on both sides. And it doesn't have to be anything that you actually say to her. It's in your perspective. I can look at your eyes and it tells everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said that to you before. You don't have to say a word to me. All you have to do, I just need to look at your eyes, and I know exactly what you're thinking, how you feel, whether you like what's said, whether you do like what's said. You're very readable. And that's one of the things that you definitely have going for you. And I'm sure that when she was sitting there, that she was reading you as well.
Uh-huh.
And I think that what happens is that you don't even have to say anything really to her now, because all that you can see and what I see today is a very happy look on your face and very happy looking eyes. And you don't have the glare, you don't have the darts, you don't have that shooting out. I've said that a couple of times myself, folks, so I can talk about this. But anyway, it's just kind of like you've mellowed yourself today. Mm-hmm. You've mellowed yourself. And what happened is, in the moment that you were in your sleep pattern, your father came in, total love and energy there.
Oh, yeah.
And it softened you. Because, and I can speak about it on my part as well, which I don't think I have the eyes darting out like you do. But hey, trust me, guys, it's like daggers at times. But anyway, it's when I get very when I have a certain person as well that at times, you try to do the best that you can do with guidance with a person. Mm-hmm. And particularly your family, because you love your family and you want them to do well. And whenever you try to go out there and you give positive affirmations and how to do this, how to do that, and the person just absolutely just slaps you in the face and says, with that it's not going to happen. You don't want to have anything. I don't want anything to do with it. I like being in my little sour patch, mode, and I'm just very happy just sitting here, just being sour. Uh-huh. And I think that in that moment, there's only so much that you can do with people, because, and you don't judge it. I mean, you just cannot go in a judgment mode, and it's very simple to do that. But everybody's got their journey, and in this particular situation, all you can do is just say what your feelings is in a loving way, and then you just release it. And then, but it doesn't mean that it can be very irritating, because we are human beings. And it can be very irritating when you're coming from the heart to try to help somebody. But on the flip side, they like just staying in their negative mode. And so I just you have to just lay it down to the divine.
Yeah.
And just say, this is the way that it is. I've done the best that I can. There's, if there's anything else that I could do about this, and please lead me to do that. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's in your hands. I'm laying it down. I have gotten so much of the message for the last 2 weeks for myself to just lay it down, because I can be in a very healing. When you're a healer and you've got that type of what you came in to be as a giver, and you want to help people, you want to help everybody. But when you have that type of energy that's totally opposite, then you just have to lay it down. And it's been very gracious of God that has been saying to me, particularly for the last 2 weeks, because I've really gotten my healing hat back on again. I think I kind of go through phases of that. I can kind of go away from it at times, and I can kind of come back to it at times. But I've been doing, some readings and that type of thing. I've had people, I've gone out of town and spent some time with them. And so I was back in the healing mode of me again. And when you have other people that's just not in the place that you so want them to be, then I have to really kind of step back myself and say, they got their journey just like I have mine. Mm-hmm. And, it's not, their journey is not my journey, and my journey is not their journey. So I think you have to just kind of step it back, give the best type of guidance that you can, and then just say, I'm laying it down. And that has been a huge test for me in the past week. It's just on
you and me both, Lee.
On several different occasions, telephone calls or in-person type things. It's just laying it down. Mm-hmm. And I was reminded of that. I think sometimes that you forget that because you're wanting to go about that and help people so much that you just lose it. You lose it within yourself to not sometimes it be at the forefront of you to just lay it down, because there's another source there, other way higher than where we'll ever be. Mm-hmm. That is just God, and that's the way that works. But anyway, it was revigorating, this week to be able to go and see some other people outside and to get a perspective of really what's going on now with this energy that is so incredible that's going on right now. Solar plexus, we was talking about that earlier today. It just seems to be kind of sitting there, and it's just kind of swirling around. And I think that that the audience as well is probably feeling some maybe a little dizziness at times. Don't be fearful of that. That's energy. Feeling a little can get very irritated about something very, very shortly. You can fire up a lot faster than you normally can. That's energy oriented. Mm-hmm. And make sure that when you're driving a vehicle that you stay within the lines of the road, because I've ridden with several people in the past week or so that definitely needed to really tone the energy in with that. I think you have to concentrate more when you're out on purpose on the highways. And so you need to keep recognizing that, because 2012's energy is totally in that perspective that you're going to have a little dizziness going on. You're going to have a little vibrational level going on. There's going to be things going on in your body that you've probably never recognized before. So to just recognize it, to know that is the energy here. It's not that you have to run to doctors and you don't have to go to the hospitals. It's just that you can just go and you can sit with yourself and feed your faith. Feed your faith. That would be the 3 words. I actually got that from in a meditation. Feed your faith and lay it down. So if I could just say that little comment, I think that's a pretty strong one within itself without saying too much more. Another thing this week that I also partook of was Friday night. I went to a dance in Knoxville, and it was kind of an inner goddess type dance. There was about 40 people there. It was men, women. It was just a beautiful place, and it's the Broadway Academy, so I might just put that out there. Performing arts, and it's on Broadway. It's a great place to go. It was only the second time they've had this, but we spent 2 hours really going into a dance type situation. You just dance the way that you want to dance. You're kind of on your own with this.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow of it. But it was just a great night, and it was presented to me on Thursday that this was going to be going on in a circle meeting that we have here in Dandridge, and I was so happy that I went to that. Also, I might add that when I was at this circle meeting on Thursday, we had a lot of energy that came into the room at that time as well, which I haven't even told you about, Michael, but they were some very high-powered alien-type energies that came in. And the other 2 people had not felt that much. Mm-hmm. And when they came in, it just totally put us out for about a 15-minute period of time. So if you feel like that sometimes you're just falling asleep, you can't keep your eyes open, there's a tremendous amount of different energies out there. And so just go with the flow and relax. That's my attitude about the whole thing. And go out in nature. I did go out quite a bit, and I've never been too much of going outside nature type person. But I was just telling my son earlier today, I'm planning on going out and start playing golf again. So that'll get me more out. If I have to play one round a week, that'll be okay. But I am going out. I feel the urgency now to go out and be more out into the nature. So I also feel like if you feel like taking a short walk or just going out and sitting on your porch, your deck, your yard, and look at the clouds. Just sit there and just get mesmerized by just looking at the clouds. They're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Well, that's some common threads that we both had this week with the going outdoors, because I was sent outdoors several times this week, and it would really help shift the energy for me, lighten it up, keep moving through the spirals of change that are happening, instead of staying stagnant at one point. It'll help allow me to move through it by going out in nature, and just the appreciation of nature is just so wonderful to me. Everything's just so perfect, and it just reminds me always to be grateful when I am in nature and the awe of it, how just amazingly beautiful it is in every way. I also had some other common threads with you this week, with energy healing and getting kind of back into the healing mode. I've found myself over the last couple of years, I've had a full-time practice in intuitive counseling and healing, and over these last couple of years gone through such monumentous shifting within myself that I've had to let go of that. And I've too gone back and done, had a few clients here and there and done sessions, and it's amazing how it always comes up when it's the right time. And then I learned something so monumental out of it. Some awareness comes for me that, as far as I'm concerned, I probably got more out of it than they did, just because
I think you always do.
It was so huge, and it kept me going through the changes that are happening, without, getting stuck in anything. I just moved through it, and honored that, it felt right at the time, did it. We helped one another, and then, when it happens again, that's fine. But I kind of have felt that my purpose with it is really this media outlet that we've started, and sharing it in that viewpoint. And who knows, down the road, there may be more time or availability or inner desire to open up a private practice again. But for now, this outlet that we have is just, to me, it's the way that I'm supposed to operate with it. And it just feels right.
Right.
So perfectly right. So, I also wanted to mention something that you had said earlier, Lee. One of the other symptoms that I've found with a lot of people lately, with the solar plexus, is digestive issues. So I so recommend, getting, if you feel like you need assistance, there's all kinds of, natural things out there that can help you right now. Or, as Lee, as you just said, just getting tapped in with you. whatever it is, or a combination of all of it. I think it's just wonderful, because there are so many evolutions of ourself happening within, and our body's ability to digest it, or process the changes. Sometimes little resistance comes up in our life as we're spiraling through these changes. And so the more that we can be calm and still and take time at peace to be out in nature, to find activities that are helpful for us to stay in our happy place, our joyful place, it allows, or it's conducive of not having resistance. You're just letting the changes go through while you're having happiness and having fun in life. And so the more that you can find those activities, as Lee was saying, she's getting back into golf, which I've heard her say for years that's one of her favorite things that she does as far as sports and things like that. And I'm finding some new things myself with drawing and artwork, and different kinds of things that are really helping me. If my mind's racing or if I have a lot going on, I'll just go straight to the artwork and I'll just be in the happy place. And all the other stuff that's going on will just go away. Any digestive little things or whatever, they just go away. And I find the more time that I spend on positive, happy things, then all of the resistance in any of the changes in the body that are going on have a tendency to go away. Again, when you need help, you get it. But I've personally found, as Julie, that the more that I really connect with me, find the happy place, do something, keep moving in funness and joy, and not sit stagnant. And I've done this in my life, and I've found that, there's times when I have the ability within me to just kind of sit with anything, any kind of things that come up, I can sit with it. And I think at times that can be good because it can take you into an awareness, a deeper awareness. But I also have the ability to sit with it too long if I'm not careful. And when I sit with it too long, then it can have some irritations in my body come up. So I'm learning for myself the balance between sitting with energies in my life to help me get to the full awareness of whatever it is. And also sometimes that means getting help or talking with a friend. I know Lee and we talk a lot about things that are going on in our life that kind of helps break through whatever that is. But just lightening it up, keeping it as light as possible is absolutely as what our goal is with this show. Not only is it helping us stay light, but we want to share what's going on in our lives so that you all can stay light too. And we can help one another stay light and move into our destiny from wherever we are, that each day we can each take a step by remembering to live in grace, live in love that we are, and remember to stay in that place.
That's it. That's it. And lay it down.
Lay it down. That's one of our new tag phrases.
Lay it down.
Lay it down, give it to God, give it to the divine, whatever works for you. But it's been a week of constant laying it down.
It has been, and it's been a constant week of, and I would like to add this too. Let's get back to our meditation. I mean, I have really, I kind of go through phases of that as well. Whereas that I would sit and meditate, and sometimes on a daily basis, but I had really gotten away from that. Mm-hmm. And what I have found in the past couple of weeks is to get right back into it again. It's not as intense as what it was before. But if it's only 5 minutes, if it's only 10 minutes, center yourself. Centering yourself makes a huge amount of difference. And calling in the angels to come in to give you guidance and to totally help in any way, because I mean they're just there for you. Your spirit guides are with you at all times, just there to be your friend. And it might be 2 or 3 times a day, but I just stop myself, and it's just in my head, and I just say, thank you so much for always being here with me. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the joy that it is to know you. Thank you for every single thing that if I turned a different direction than what I need to, please give me the insight to straighten it back out again. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's so simple. If I could just put it out there to everyone, it is just so simple. It's always putting that first and foremost on your mind. And it's kind of like that when you do it that way, you don't even think about all the miscellaneous stuff that goes on, and all the things that you think is so important is not that important anymore. What is more important than divine order? There's nothing any more important. God puts you here. And lay it down. I keep saying that. I told Michael I might say it 100 times today, but just lay it down. Uh-huh. And put it in the hands and just say, this is something that I just feel like that I just don't want to handle anymore, or something that I'm just passing it right over there to you. Mm-hmm. And just show me, tell me Take care of it, whatever that it is, just to let it go. Because when you just sit there on it and you just I call it gnaw on it, okay? You just gnaw. It's kind of like a dog gnawing on a bone, you know? It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's no reason for that.
And sometimes the dogs have trouble digesting that.
That's exactly right. Sometimes, we have a very difficult time digesting that type of thing. But, I had a situation that, I've had a little bit of back problem on the left-hand side of me. And I just, it was just irritating. It's been going on now for several years. And I just asked Raphael, which is the healing angel. I look at the Raphael with green when he comes in, or it's always green in my head, so I know that's Raphael.
And he's been with you since you were a kid.
He's been with me. He's been with me the first time I saw him at 5 years old. But I just asked, please give me the healing of this. It's like a little catch. And, and it's been several weeks now. And it was just kind of like a bond that we made with each other. You heal me, and I won't go there again and create it. Because what was creating it was me. Because if I just turned my foot the wrong direction, oh my gosh, I bet my back's going to go. Oh my heavens! Every time I'd get a little bit of soreness, I thought, oh Lord, here it comes again. You see, you keep those intentions coming out there. And you keep putting them out there to the universe, you know what? Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. But when I put the healing angel in my face to say, please heal me for the rest of my life on this earth, to where this was not going to happen again. And I will promise you at this time that I will not go in my head again to produce it again. Wow. Totally a different strength to it. And I was just saying to Michael earlier today, I'm totally well with it. I won't even go anywhere but well with it.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole body has shifted. It's totally shifted. To whereas now I'm talking about going to play golf. One of the reasons why I stopped playing golf was because of when I walked a lot. Just going out to the hole. Of course, I'm lazy enough. I'm going to be on a golf cart, but I am going to go walk out to the hole to putt. Okay, and I started having irritations with that on that left side, and so that was one. And I thought, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going back into where it needs to be to exercise and not have any excuses sitting there because my left hip is not working anymore. Because let me tell you, now it's working and it will continue working. And I totally understand and believe that 100%. It is totally healed. And it was just taking it in, saying this is what I'm going to do, and do it. And every morning I thank Raphael. Thank you, Raphael, because now I'm not getting up out of the bed like I'm a 80-year-old lady. I'm getting up like I'm 16. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Lee.
Yep. It's all in the intentions.
Yeah.
It's all in the intentions. Yep.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities, especially it seems these last couple of years too. I've had a lot of physical little things pop up. It's like, oh, what's going on with that? And I too have been really surrendering any burdens, because for me, I've carried a lot of burdens in my life, energetically and different kinds of things, and they have a tendency to manifest in my body, the burden. And as I have given my burdens over, then I've had total relief from all kinds of different, back issues and different shoulder. I used to carry a lot of shoulder pain, a lot. I have not had shoulder pain in months. I don't even remember, but I do remember having some clarity that I'm done, like what you're going through. I remember a couple months back going, I am done carrying these burdens. I'm not doing it anymore. Not doing it anymore. It's interesting that you said that because it just brought it back. I was so not even aware of it. I haven't thought about it for months. It's been gone. And I know a lot of people out there carry those kind of things, the back, the shoulders, the neck, all kinds of, where you carry the weight of the world in different areas. So lay it down.
Well, and when you're carrying it, and the way the energy is now, it multiplied it.
Yeah.
You see, the energy is much stronger now, and it's coming into us because it is needed to just really come in and empower us to be the best that we can possibly be. So what does that do? It intensifies it.
Yeah.
It intensifies it. So, and I believe, I hear people say, "Oh God," I mean, the doctors' offices are filled up because the general public does not understand what's going on. And there's just a lot of confusion about that type of energy.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, it's just empowers you when you learn how to handle it. And what a beautiful thing that it is. And how it enlightens your whole life if you just accept it, you take it in, and you just absolutely agree with everything about it and don't resist it. Mm-hmm. Then your body just totally relaxes, you let it go, and you just lay it down. Anything that is on your mind that is on a constant basis, you lay it down because there's not a thing that you can do with it. The word control in our lives, it doesn't exist because we cannot control anything. That is totally God's order, and God takes care of it. So the whole time that you're sitting there and you're talking about how you're going to control this and how I'm going to do that, I would suggest to take those minutes that you're taking that type of conversation and putting it out in the universe to sit down and quiet your mind and meditate. And meditate to yourself, I will not accept this anymore. And I'm asking for you to please come in and completely take this away to where I don't even have to think about it again. It's all in the power of thought and the power of thinking. And that's where it lies within each human being to be able to take on their own power and to be able to do that and have the divine help them in every single way they possibly can, because it is there.
It is so
there. It is there.
It is so there. And no matter what help you get along the way, it doesn't even matter.
Nope.
You can still work and practice what we're talking about with claiming your divinity, claiming your freedom. No matter what area or place in life you are, you can practice it. Tomorrow, today, this very moment, you can claim your freedom and ask for all the divine support that's out there to help you claim it, help you clear your life of things that are holding it back from even feeling like you can claim it. Because I know it's a process for everybody. You can claim it and claim your divinity from wherever you are.
You can, and I think that the one thing that I always will put out there, and I've said it before on the air, is, when you start getting into your monkey brain to where you're flying from one side of the cage to the other and that you're just in total chaos, you feel like your whole self is in chaos, then take one word to where you can telepathically or speak it out, whichever way that you want to do it, and say that one word to where that is your stop word. That stops you from going to the next step, and it completely releases it at a time. And that is a very powerful thing to do. Simple and powerful. Because if after you once keep saying that word 10 times in a day, you're actually going to go there and you're going to say, wow, I did not realize within my own self how many times that I actually got in a space that I did not need to be. I did not need to be, didn't want to be, didn't even want to claim it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And it just stops you. It just stops you, and it works. This is not hard.
No.
It's never been designed to be hard. It's just been designed to be thoughtful. The word to me is thoughtful. Thoughtful for yourself, thoughtful for others, thoughtful for your life. Everything is around thought. And you can place it at any place that you want it to be. It's the power of thinking and keeping it in your own perspective of what works for you.
I would like to put a challenge out there to everyone that's out there. Something that I've been working on now for a couple of years. Actually, it really started before I left corporate America, so it's been probably about 8 years that I've really been working on this. And whenever I feel stressed, I'm going to use the words that we've used today. I'll lay down something on my plate that I don't need to be doing. I'll take one thing off of my plate that I don't need to be doing, because if I'm stressed, I'm doing too much and I'm trying to force too much. And so I would like to put that out there to everyone that's listening, that if your life is filled with stress, or you're doing so much that you're having trouble even taking time to get within yourself, I would like to challenge you to just remove one thing. Start piece by piece to reclaim yourself and your peace back, because we are not, I believe this at every core of my being, that we do not come onto this planet designed to do everything at once. You can't enjoy it if you do everything at once. I don't think it's possible to enjoy life when it's so jam-packed full that you're doing everything at once. And so it's been a part of my personal life experience, to the moment that I feel stressed about anything, I'd really take an inventory in that moment of what I'm doing and get to the core of the reasoning behind it, so that I can look at my plate and go, I don't need to be doing that. That maybe there's some hidden motives there that I find that are not supportive of me. And if they're not supportive of me, they're not going to be supportive of someone else either. And so that's really important. And I would ask all of you to take a moment to ask that of yourself. And
don't get into your own excuses. Excuses is very, it can be contagious at times. You have excuses because you don't have enough time. You have excuses because you need to stay at home because you've been away a long time. And you feel like that you just need to sit there, or you need to do this, you need to do that. It's excuses. Take a total inventory, as Michael just said, a total inventory. Don't just take service and the surface part of it. Don't just take the surface part of it. Take your whole inventory there. Because a lot of things that you might think is not serving you could be the one thing that you really need to be served by, and all this other stuff that you think that you're just running and running and running like a crazy person, that's not serving you. What's serving you would be to sit down and meditate and get in with your own self. That's your serving part. And it's amazing to me how many people take that away out of their day, and they put in something else can be monkey mind business. It's amazing. So when I agree with exactly what you say, but take that inventory of what that is. Mm-hmm. You need to write it down on a piece of paper, and you need to look at it. And if nothing else, take your pad with you for one day, and whatever time that you get up in the morning, you just keep a tick list of exactly what you've done all that day. And then you get to the end of your day, and you look at that tick list of exactly what you've done and see what you can mark off of it. Not the importance, but the things that really makes a little difference in your life, one way or the other. Sometimes we take away things that we should keep, and we shove away. It totally goes opposite with us. You see. So if you just look at your whole day and just write it down, it's quite amazing what you can find out about yourself at the end of that day and how you spent your time.
That's awesome, Lee. I was going to give an example in my life of when, because I can really see it now. When I was in it at the time, I couldn't see it with the clarity that I could now, but I knew that there was some really gift out of the experience. But probably around 2002, 2003, I was working and doing traveling in the engineering field, and I was down in Florida, and my back literally just went out. I could hardly walk, I could hardly work, but I made myself work. Like, I made myself get in the cars, which I could barely get in the cars and even sit in them, but I just kept doing it. But anyway, at that time in my life, tell you that I had so many things on my plate, and so many of the things on my plate I was doing because I thought I should be doing them, when my heart was trying to tell me, you don't need to do this. It's time for you to open up and try other things. Your heart's reaching out to move in a new direction outside of this engineering work, even though you've only been in it a very small amount of years. It was getting me to open, but I was so resistant at that time to honor the feelings inside that were telling me. And so I got even busier, and I kept getting busier and busier, because it was the only thing that would silence that thing, was to be busier. Well, that busyness exploded in my back. Literally, I could hardly, do anything. And to where I had to take, a day off or 2 or 3. I don't even remember now, but I would just lay there. And if I moved a muscle, it would just absolutely extremely pain. And so, and I made myself do that because I've always grown up in this idea that my thoughts and that my being were the root cause of my physical challenges, whatever they were. And so I sat with it. Because I wanted to know what was going on. I was not gonna, at that time, I was a little bit even almost egotistical about it, because of my pride. I wasn't going to hurt my pride, about those beliefs that I grew up with. But I did. I just sat there with it. And, but anyway, the core of that message that I got from my life at that time, looking back, is how, and I know with so many people that, they just work harder, get busier, instead of take the time to stop and listen to all the messages that your own self is trying to give to you. And I believe that that's why we have most of the physical challenges that we have, is because we don't listen to ourselves.
I agree with you.
And somewhere I was taken to a total halt so that I would listen. And it did. I did get the message that it was time for me to do something else. I didn't know what it was, but there was a whole lot of other pieces to that unfolded. And with that, over the years, it took a couple of years to be completely free of that back pain. But the freedom came when I freed myself.
That's correct.
When I was totally free within myself about the new journey, it was done.
And you laid it down.
I did. I gave it over.
You gave it over and laid it down. That's all.
So as we're talking about today, I guarantee all of you out there have something in your life that you can just lay down.
Exactly. I would definitely say that that's fact. At least one. And just give it up and lay it down. And I don't even know how much more time we have, to be honest with you.
We've gone a little over because we've gone...
Well, we're good at that.
Yeah, we are.
But there is just 4 things that I need to say, because I was told to say this by the divine.
Go for it.
So it came in right here before we started. Number 1, God's will is to love all. Number 2, stay strong to a divine life. Number 3, all is well, and believe in yourself. You will always come out with enough. And number 4, look at all people with love and light, no judgment. The mirror is blank. Look into it with total grace. That's divine order. Lay it down, and you have a great week.
Lots of love to all of you. Talk to you again soon.
Bye-bye.